And the problem says that the velocity of a particle is given by this equation: v equals to 25t square minus 80t minus 200, where v is in feet per second and t is in seconds. Plot the velocity and acceleration a versus time t for the first 6 seconds of the motion and evaluate the velocity when a equals to 0. Now the particle is moving along a straight line, and the velocity is given as a function of time. So we are given that the velocity is equal to 25 t square minus 80t minus 200. So we are asked to plot the velocity and acceleration as a function of time. So if you want to find the acceleration equation, so we always know that the acceleration is dv by dt. So we have to take the derivative of the velocity equation with respect to time. So if we take the derivative of this equation, this will be 25 into 2, so that will be 50t, and the derivative of minus 80t will be minus 80, and constant, the derivative of minus 200, the constant is 0. So this is the acceleration as a function of time. Now we are also asked to evaluate the velocity when acceleration is 0. So we have to find time t at which the acceleration is 0. So if we equate this equation to 0, we will be able to find the time t. So we can say that if this is equal to 0, let me write that when 50t minus 80, when the acceleration is equal to 0, time will be equal to 80 divided by 50, which gives us 1.6 seconds. So the velocity will be equal to 25 1.6 square minus 80 into 1.6 minus 200. So we can say that 25 into 1.6 square minus 80 into 1.6 minus 200, this gives us minus 264. So this is minus 264, and the units are in feet per second. So we can say this will be feet per second. So the velocity when acceleration is equal to 0 is minus 264 feet per second. So let's say that this is our velocity versus time graph, and this one box represents 100 units, so 100 feet per second. So if this is 100, this is minus 100, this is minus 200, so this is minus 300, so minus 264 will be somewhere here. So this will be minus 264. So let's draw a line. So this is minus 264 velocity. So we can say this is minus 264 feet per second. So on the y-axis, this is the velocity, and on the x-axis, this is t in seconds. Now we want to plot this velocity as a function of time on this graph. So if we put t equals to 0 in this equation, then we will have minus 200. So when t is equal to 0, the velocity is minus 200. So we can say that the first point is minus 200. This is the y-intercept of this velocity as a function of time. And then at t equals to 1.6, the velocity is minus 264. So on the time axis, this is 0.5, this is 1, this is 1.5. So 1.6 will be somewhere here. So we can say that when t equals to 1.6, the velocity is minus 264. So this is, we can say that this particular point has a coordinates of 1.6 and minus 264. So this point lies on the velocity as a function of time as well. Now if we equate this equation equals to 0, and so we will be able to find the time at which the velocity will be equals to 0 if we find the roots of this quadratic equation. So we can find the roots of this quadratic equation by applying the quadratic formula. So we can say that t will be equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now a is equal to 25, b is equal to minus 80, and c is equal to minus 200. So we can say that t is equal to minus b. So minus b, b is minus 80. So minus into minus 80 plus minus, now minus 80 square minus 4. A is 25 and C is minus 200 divided by 2A. Now A is 25. So we can find this. We can say that, and we can further write this equation like this as well. We can divide both of these terms by 2A. So we can say this is 2 into 25 and this is 2 into 25. So we can say that minus into minus is plus. So 80 divided by 2 into 25 is 50. So this is 1.6 plus minus 80 square minus 4 into 25 into minus 200 divided by 2 into 25 is 50. So we can say that this is plus minus 3.249. Now as you guys can see that this term is greater than 1.6. So 1.6 plus 3.249 will be the actual value of t at which the velocity will be equals to 0, because the time cannot be negative. If 1.6 minus 3.249 will give us the negative value, so we can only accept the positive value. So we can say that the time at which the velocity will be equals to 0 is equal to 1.6 plus 3.249. So this is 4.849, and we can say it's approximately 4.85. So we can say that at t equals to 4.849, the velocity is equal to 0. So now you guys can see that this is 4.5. So somewhere here is 4.849. Here the velocity is equal to 0. So this is the third point here. And since this velocity is a quadratic function, so it's a second degree curve. So it will look like this. And at this particular point, the slope of the velocity curve will be equals to 0. It will be a straight line. So at that particular point, the acceleration is equal to 0, since the acceleration, or we can say dv by dt, always tells us the slope of the velocity graph. So we can say that if I plot the velocity function, so it will look like, so this is, you guys can see that this curve represents the velocity as a function of time. Since you guys can see that the a value is positive, so if it's positive, then the parabolic function is always smiling. It is the smiling face like this. And if the acceleration value is, if the point a, the coefficient of t square is negative, then the parabola or the quadratic function will look like this. So this is the velocity as a function of time graph. And similarly, now we have to plot the acceleration as a function of time. Now it's a straight line, since the variable t has a index of 1, or we can say power 1. So when it's the power 1, then it's a straight line equation. And now we can say that when t is equal to 0, the acceleration is minus 80. Now we will plot the acceleration on the same graph, and we can say that the blue values now represent acceleration. So we can say that the acceleration as a function of time, it will be feet per second square, and when t is equal to 0, the acceleration is, when t is equal to 0, the acceleration is minus 80. So let's say this is 40, so this is 80. So we can say that the blue values represents the acceleration, or we can say that the pink values represent acceleration. So we can say that this is minus 80. And similarly, you guys can see that if acceleration is a function of time, is a straight line, then the slope is 50. So we can say that if we compare this with y equals to mx plus c, so the y-intercept is minus 80, and the slope of the acceleration as a function of time is 50. So if this is minus 80, and if this is 40, this will be minus 40, and similarly this will be 40, and this will be 80. So if we put t equals to 1 in this equation, if we put t equals to 1 in this equation, this will be 50 minus 80, so that will be minus 30. So at t equals to 1, the value will be somewhere here. So this is, let's say, somewhere here is minus 30. And similarly, if we put t equals to 2, then this will be 100 minus 80. So at t equals to 2, the value will be somewhere here, that is half of this, 20. So we can say that this is 20 and somewhere here is t equals to 2. If I join these points, so this pink line represents acceleration as a function of time, which is equal to 50t minus 80, and this represents velocity as a function of time, which is equal to 25t squared minus 80t minus 200. Now, as you guys can see that the acceleration is always represent the slope of the velocity curve. So you guys can see that since this represents the velocity as a function of time, so at t equals to 0, the slope is negative. You guys can see. And then the slope gradually becomes positive when t increases, right? So you guys can see that the graph, the acceleration is negative, negative, negative until 1.6. So then the slope becomes 0, the acceleration becomes 0, and then after that particular point, the acceleration, the tangent to the velocity graph becomes positive, or we can say that the slope becomes positive. So this is the solution of this particular point. At t equals to 1.6, the acceleration is equals to 0, and at that particular point, the velocity is minus 264 feet per second. And this is the representation of the velocity as a function of time, and this is the acceleration as a function of time. So do subscribe Engineers Academy for the solution of such more problems from Engineering Dynamics by Meriam and Kraige, and many more problems are coming from Engineering Dynamics by Meriam and Kraige.